Pisces, how you doing? So, this is a word that I've got for you that Spirit pretty much gave me, and then we're going to have to figure this out, because I think I pretty much figured it out anyway, Pisces. There are pieces, bits and pieces. I'm all in pieces, like breakdown. Like my head is in pieces, my bits are all in pieces. Like there is stuff everywhere. Like it's like my clothes or my blah blah blah, or my belongings. It's like I don't belong here. I don't belong here. I don't fit in these clothes anymore. I don't seem to fit in my clothes anymore. Are some of you on a diet? Right, and I have all these clothes everywhere, but I don't seem to fit in my clothes anymore. But it's also a feeling of like I don't seem to be welcome here, or I don't feel like I belong. I don't feel like I belong here. Okay, but then I'm also picking up my belongings, meaning that I've left pieces of myself somewhere else. But the metaphysical energy of what I'm picking up is that there's a third party kind of energy here, right? And like, sorry, I can't spell when I've got Spirit talking in my ear, giving me messages, and then I'm also trying to write as well. It's very difficult. But it's like your message. Pisces, you're right. How you doing? So this is your remote viewing. Sorry. This is your remote viewing. It is not a tarot card reading. It is just a remote viewing. I pick up what's going on around the energy. And then as we go throughout the whole session, I kind of either pick up deceased loved ones sometimes, future predictions sometimes, but the present tense is normally what I normally pick up. Picking up Norman or Normington or Norris. Anybody's got N in their name. Okay. But like I seem to be in pieces. My belongings, I don't feel like I belong here. Okay. And that there is a piece of me somewhere else, which means that it's either an actual physical object and I've left something behind, or I've left behind another energy, which means that part of my life and or energy feels like abandoned ship, Steve. But like I feel like I've been abandoned, or I've abandoned someone, because I'm really picking up people that have got like life path 3, Pisces in their chart, meaning that there could be another one and possibly another one, because I ain't going to beat around the bush. It really does feel like that there are multiple pieces of Pisces fucking everywhere. Right? And like he, she, you, they, like if there is third or fourth parties, right? Say there's a couple and there's been like all this, like even if there's distrust or there's abandonment issues going on, if somebody went to another person, it's likely that they've got Pisces or they've got like life path 3 in their chart, and then someone else went off to another person over here and they got Pisces or life path 3 in their chart as well. And it's all mixed up into like one reading that I'm trying to put my head around. So it's like I'm trying to get my head around it, right? So it's like a decision that is like awkward, or I feel awkward. I don't quite know how to handle this. There's still a piece of me that belongs to another person, right? Like my heart belongs to someone, or like I ghosted someone and abandoned them, and what's left over is the chemistry. So you're looking at 5. So you're looking at Sag Taurus, and if you are, you're looking at maybe someone of 5 that could be Mari, but like marriage. Okay. Someone that's married, you or another person. But it feels like that, it feels like limbo, right? Limbo. Like, I don't know if this is my energy or their energy, or like, because I'm picking up like synchronicities. Like I'm synced into like 2 different people at once, where it could be Gemini energy. Gemini, right? Like, I feel like two people. Crossed star lover syndrome. So it could be star, there could be a Leo or an Aquarian energy somewhere in someone's chart. Aqua. Okay. Oh man, these messages, Pisces, you give me a run for my money because I can't figure out who is who. It's like I don't know who I am anymore, like my identity, right? I don't know where I belong. I'm somewhere, but I still don't feel like I fit in here, like I don't belong here. Wherever that I am, I don't belong here, right? And it's like belongings, like, oh, okay, man, I know what this is. This is exactly what I've been talking about in the lessons and stuff that I've been doing about the circle. It's like what's been left behind is everything that I've abandoned. Right? People, when they're in a cycle of abandonment, what they leave behind is like my clothes, my job, my parents, my friends, my new life, like my new identity. I don't know where my passport or where my identification is, ID, right? Like I don't know who I am. I can't prove who I am because I haven't got proof of identity, or I need proof of identity. I don't know. But like, it's like what I've left behind is everything. I've given up everything for someone that has taught me abandonment. That's all they've taught somebody is abandonment. Now, you could be, say, the third person, right? And they've abandoned you, and they've abandoned their parents, their family, their job. That people do this because they look for validation or Valerie, right? So it's like, oh, okay, so if it's going to work this time, right, we need to, well, you need to give up like talking to your parents because they don't like me. So I don't want you talking to your parents, and I don't want you talking to your friends either, right? And I don't want you to go out. And somebody here is lonely on their own, looking at everything that they've got, which is nothing. Like I've got nothing left. Everything's been taken from me, like my job, my money, my assets, my clothes, my fucking. I mean, it's somebody been kicked out here, kicked out, and they haven't got nowhere to go, and they've got no clothes, and they've got nothing. Right? Like physically, I haven't got anything. I mean, that's stripping someone down to the bare bones of being attached maybe to someone that is deep-seated abandonment, right? Because like I've been teaching people and going over it, and it's definitely prominent in your reading, Pisces, like everything is gone, right? I don't have anything left to give you. I've got nothing left. There is nothing left for me to give up. So, right? So, I mean, this is exactly what happens externally. I end up like, because people look for validations, like even food, because I'm thinking like my clothes don't even fit me anymore. Like I've lost so much weight over this that I'm trying to make myself look good for you. I'm trying to make myself look more presentable so you pay me attention, but you're not, right? So I've given up my health. My health is now being affected because I'm trying to look good for you. So I've now abandoned my health, and I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for you, right? So I'm trying to prove, right? Trying to prove, but I can't make you love me, right? And that's what it feels like, that somebody is being karmically stripped of everything that they've got because someone's lesson here is, why would you change who you are? So you're obviously dealing with Scorpio, or you've got Scorpio in your chart, or people have, because there's multiple energies I'm picking up here. So you've definitely got like people that have got like Scorpio in their chart, and you've got someone that's realizing that the same scenario is happening exactly the same way, that there still isn't any change. Like the person hasn't changed any, but someone keeps trying to change themselves for the person that isn't changing. Right? It's the loop. It's like going around in circles. Callum or Scott or someone from Scotland. But like, I'm going around in circles 'cause I'm over here watching you kiss her. Oh, ooh, I keep dancing on my own. Kiss her or kiss him. Something around the band Kiss. Or someone's kissing. But if that's a photo, if you're watching someone's photo, that's fake. It's false, right? I mean, pictures, because I'm hearing, I'm watching you kiss her or him, right? Or Kim, the name Kim. But if that's not where, like, okay, they're standing right in front of me kissing, right? Then if it's a photo, that's just a mask. It's Jim or John, okay, or Jay. But like, it's just false. Right? It's like a cover-up. Like I'm trying to pretend that things are happy when they're not. So the only way people get their lessons is, I've gone through this so many times on the. So I don't know if you guys are on the join button, but man, the readings just lately have been. I think some of them have been about an hour long. But validation, right? I need to prove that myself that you love me, right? But someone's lesson is, I don't need to wait for you to prove that you don't love me, and I don't need to change myself for you, and I also don't need to wait for you to kick me out or tell me that you don't love me and that you want me to leave. Because that's obvious, because there's abandonment here, right? People can't learn anything other than abandonment. That was the video, right? You can't learn abandonment from the person that abandoned you. So that's parents, everything else, right? But when you get in these circumstances, the person that starts to elevate themselves is the one that, okay, I'm the feminine energy, right? And I've been changing everything for you. That means that that person has to leave. Because normally you always get, say, one person that always ends the relationship, right? And the other one just gets cast out and abandoned, right? But they never actually leave themselves. Right? They always wait for the other person to say, I don't love you anymore, I don't want to be with you anymore. And they just wait for that abandonment to happen. When a person actually gets it, they leave for themselves. Right? So metaphysically, people, if you're metaphysical connected to this person, you cannot intervene with their karmic energy. You can't be the savior, because then you become the scapegoat, right? The anchor, right? So what you've got here is like an energy of where somebody karmically is starting to lose their mind a little bit, because they've got like two people that is on their mind. Their paths have crossed, maybe during a 2 year. In your 2 years in numerology is where you will come across somebody that could be from someone that you met in the past. But in a year 2, you will definitely form a connection. But you won't go into a relationship with this person. Not in a year 2. Because in a year 2, if you meet someone, there's a good chance that they could be getting divorced or separated, going through justice and judgment, right? So they're being judged by their marriage, divorcing, separating, blah, 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 all this sort of stuff. They're going for a 2. So they could be a year 2, or you could be, right? So your paths have crossed when someone else hasn't completed a path, but your energy has mixed, right? So then you get a 5, which is chemistry. What is a feeling, Pisces? It's nothing more than chemistry in the brain of dopamine and all of the chemicals in one's brain that forms a plan. When you make a plan, that energy stays with you because you started to make something that was tangible in the physical. You try to bring the metaphysical into the physical. So when people are in metaphysical minds and metaphysical, wow, fucking hell, this is so hypnotic, right? During those times is normally when people make plans. When you make plans, that's karmic energy that you've made a plan that is in the actual real world, right? If that doesn't happen and that doesn't go ahead and someone abandons it, you abandon the plan. When you make a plan in your mind, right, your brain starts to form the chemistry of where when you're let down and you've gone, the plans that you had, it forms more pressure of a build-up of karmic energy, right? Because you try to make a plan in the physical. So someone basically gave up a new life or gave up something of a plan that we made or that we arranged to make something, or we arranged something, but it's like the time is ticking, the time is running, the time is running out. So life path 7 or Cancerian energy. So am I going to run out? Are you going to run out on me? Are you going to leave me? Man, this is so much abandonment energy here. Abandonment, abandon ship. 6. Cappy or Gemini? Gemini definitely, because the 6 of Swords is air. So 6. Oh, man, this is heavy energy. I mean, how long have you been doing it, Pisces? Because like I said, scapegoat, victim, aggressor, the triangle, right? The symbols, right? When someone is with a person that they keep abandoning one another, they cannot learn anything other than that. That's as far as they will ever go, as abandonment. But one of them needs to realise before the other one, they need to wake up and write, fuck it. I've lost too much. I've given up too much for you. And you've not repaid inequality. That's why you got like a Gemini energy. You haven't returned anything to me, right? So is there a divorce or something here, a settlement of like objects? Like, you haven't returned my object. You haven't returned my stuff. You haven't returned the favour. You haven't returned anything. You haven't kept to your promise. You said you was going to. I told you. Somebody was lying in someone's bed. And I said, was it your reading or someone else's? Because it was like the 3 Little Bears or a nursery rhyme. And I said, ooh, someone's been sleeping in my bed. And I said someone was expecting someone and they were clearing up the evidence because somebody was expected to turn up. So they covered up the evidence. So they lied. They're lying. Right? They're lying. Because, like, this is what you get, right? Like, have you slept with and have you done this, blah, blah, blah. But people don't seem to get it. If people go back to other people, what they're doing is they're looking to reconcile, right, with my ex. So they look to reconcile. So they missed the point where you left me in order for an ex. If your ex would have took you back, you would have stuck with them and you would have dumped me. So they didn't accept you. So you came back to me. But because I was with someone else, you come back to get me and I went running straight back to you. And I abandoned this one over here because this person abandoned you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, let me make it a little bit obvious or clearer what I'm picking up, right? So you got a couple here, right? These are a couple and they're going through abandonment and that's all that they do and that's all that they know, right? This is the man and this is the woman, right? Now he goes off over to here to his ex, right? To try and sort out the abandonment issue of being abandoned by my wife or my husband, and I'm trying to figure out why I got left and abandoned, blah, blah, blah. Because they went through exactly the same scenario that these pair are actually going through, the same. So they learn abandonment, and now these two are teaching each other abandonment because neither of these two have ever been loved before. They haven't connected with an energy that loves them, so they don't know what that is. So they run back to one another to learn the same, right? So this woman, she goes off here. She meets another man, right? Not going to go into gender and specifics here, but she goes off. She meets a man. Hello, I'm here, watching you kiss him. Oh, ooh, I'm keep dancing on my own, right? So you came to me. He went to her. She said no. So he comes back and thinks, oh, okay, I'm on my own now. I can't be on my own because I've been abandoned. But you abandoned me. Of course I did. Because I can only teach you abandonment. Oh, that's fucking great, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to go over to here. Scapegoat. The person that I know that will accept me, that wants me, that will love me. Right? But because I don't know what love is, I'll abandon this one and I'll go straight back over to here because they called me up and they rang me up and asked me to go back. So I did. Okay, so I abandoned this one, and she abandoned him and said no, right? So these two now are trying to prove whatever went on within this cycle of like, so what did you do? Where did you go? Did you sleep with someone? Did you try to reconcile with your ex? What happened over here? I don't quite know. I don't know whether you're lying to me or whether you're telling the truth. Libra energy, the marriage, the commitment, the divorcing, right? That's been through the readings. You don't know blah, blah, blah. You don't really know what happened. I need validation to make sure that you didn't sleep with anyone. Okay, well, if you didn't sleep with anyone, that's all right. Really? How about, well, if she'd have accepted you back, you would have just abandoned me and gone off with her anyway. So you would have abandoned me in any circumstance. You would have done that. So I had a chance of a new life here, but I abandoned that for you. So now I'm trying to change myself and give up. I've give up this for you. I've give up my life. I've give up, everything that about me I've given up for you to remain loyal to the person that isn't even loyal to me. Because they can only teach me how to be abandoned. That's it. That's the end of the lesson. But people are replaying it. They're just going around in circles replaying the same energy. So they're kind of getting slightly different results, but ultimately it's the same. So I've been saying to people, some people will be like, okay, this time what we'll try is we'll try therapy. Fucking lot of good that is. But yeah, okay, we'll try therapy, realizing that human beings don't physically change when you're in something that's broken because the trust is gone. So we'll try to rebuild the trust, right? So they'll go around and they'll sort of like, okay, we'll try therapy. We'll try counselling. I'll try giving up my friends. I won't go out at night with the lads and whatnot, and I'll stay at home because you want me to. Okay. And then they might think, okay, well, that didn't work, did it? No, well, we've ended up full circle. Okay, so what can we try this time? Okay, let's try, let's try spiritual therapy. Let me try tarot card reading. Let me try meeting this and doing that, right? And the circle is Baxter, or Lee, or Leanne. But it just proves it's the same thing that happens again and again and again, right? So they're getting nowhere. Now, some people can probably eventually make this work, but it depends on what has gone on. If there has been cheating, lying, other women, manipulation, gaslighting, confusion, I don't want you, I don't love you, I don't need you, I don't want to be with you, get out. And people split up. And then people go off with other people, but then go back. This circle here of trust has been broken, right? You can't fix that because it's a memory. The memory affects the pineal gland of your calling, right? So it reflects an energy back. So these people are reflecting exactly the same back to one another because they can't get past that. The reason they can't get past it is because there's too much that's been done and said. After all that's said and done, you can be the only one. Oh, do you believe in life after love? I can feel something inside me say, I really don't think you're strong enough, no. Aquarius or Leo. So it's like people are thinking, I don't think that you're strong enough that you can ever really walk out on this person. I don't think that you're strong enough to realise that you're caught in a loop, that you can actually leave for yourself. Are you strong enough to do that? Because these people are draining one another, right? They're suckling on each other's energy, right? So they're teaching each other that. So people are like, I don't think that you're strong enough to actually leave this person. I don't think you ever will. I think you'll just keep doing the same thing, right? And these two are probably having the same conversation. I don't think you're strong enough to stay away from your ex. I think you possibly will always do that. And they're possibly arguing. Because that's abandonment. 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, Sagittarius, major energy, Taurus, major energy, okay, major arcana 5. And it's just looped. It's Loopy Lou or Lulu or Louise or someone from Louisiana or Polly or Pollyanna or polyamorous, right? Marriage. Seeing each other outside of a marriage. But in one's reading, I don't know which one it was, I said, somebody's been sleeping in my bed, and who is it? But they don't know because they covered it up. They cleared all of the evidence up and got rid of it before the person got back. That was a spirit message. I said, listen to it. Somebody is clearing up the evidence because they're clearing up the mess before someone gets back, right? So they're covering the stuff up. like, what am I going to say? You know, if I'm questioned about this, what can I say? What can I do? Like, what can I do to make you love me? Right? What can I do? Leave each other. Stop tormenting one another. Right? Now, if it isn't that, and you're not caught in this, you could be the metaphysical one, right? Where you come across someone, star-crossed lover syndrome, right? And your stars aligned, and you became in alignment with someone, and you met them, but then instantly it went into a karmic loop, right? They've gone, you're not watching them, or they're not watching them. I don't know whether someone's watching you or not, I don't know. It's kind of like I'm watching you kiss her. I don't know why I keep picking that up. But it says I'm watching you kiss her, like another woman. Like it's a woman watching a man kiss a woman. That's what Spirit's saying. It's a Callum Scott. I'm watching you kiss her. Oh. I keep dancing on my own, and I'm on my own, watching you kiss her. So, I don't know. Is this like photos or like Facebook or Instagram or something about watching you do that with her? And I'm watching you do that with her. So this is a female watching a man. A female watching a man kiss a female or something. I don't know where that message is coming from or whether that's going to relate to you. Like the last thing I want to do here, right, is pronounce fear of people, of stuff that you actually don't know. Because I don't want you to start following Alice and like, you know, unless your name's Alice or Alison. But like, you know, I don't want to pronounce fear here to get people to start believing in things that might not actually be real or true. Right. Because there's like a placebo energy here. It's coming also from the mirrored energy of the couple that don't trust each other. Right. It's like fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of being rejected again. Right. And like, I fear the fact that you'll run off to your ex or you'll run off. And that's also coming from the metaphysical energy. You're mirroring. There's a couple that are together, right, that are mirroring each other. Now, if the metaphysical side, if you're picking up mirrored synchronicities of time, right, like say 15:15 and then 15:15, 3:15, basically, right, but on a 24-hour clock, if you're picking up, say, like it's 15:15, and then you pick up 15:51, you know, quite a few minutes later before it turns to 6 o'clock, if you're picking up those mirrored energies, they're working on what they're working on, and you're separate from this person working on yourself, right? Now, this is how it works. Individually, metaphysically, the metaphysical side has to raise their vibration to carry on with their life regardless on their own, okay, and do it for themselves. Because a person that's in these, they have to realize all of their lessons on their own. You can't intervene with their karmic energy. If you do, and you contact them of like, oh, you need to leave him or her, you need to stop interfering with my husband or wife, blah, 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 or watch it or whatever. We might twat flame their mind, right? If your mind thinks that, if your actions do that, then you're forcing. And force is a karmic energy. So it'll have to be repaid. So you'll lose, right? So win or lose, right? Because it's giving someone an ultimatum. That means that you're desperate, right, in order for them to be with you, which means codependent. And what you don't want in the end is this person to come to you in a codependent energy. You want them to come to you in a good state of mind where they've realised their own lessons, they've realised their own mistakes, they're no longer trying to rectify them, they've actually left on their own accord. They've realised that the cord is broken, because you have to do that within a karmic energy. You can't try to cut cords and all this bollocks, right? They have to cut that cord themselves. So they have to learn that themselves. When they do, this person graduates and they elevate. When they do, if you're elevating at a distance from them in your own life, where you're not forcing them, you're not contacting them to tell them to leave them, I want you, blah, 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 and you're carrying on with your own life, regardless, right? You're not really in my box. You're kind of there, but you're not there, right? This person has to, if it's meant to be, they will have to leave this person and realise themselves. They have to come to that realisation themselves that it's over. Like I said, normally, right, I don't want to start labelling people here, but this is pretty much like how it works. If you guys are like, well, I know all this sort of shit, Steve. Well, good on you. This is my calling and this is what I do for a living, right? I've been through this for 12 years, so yes, I do know, right? So normally when you get a couple, right, and they get in this trap, right, and they're stuck in this, normally the female is the most vulnerable one. So the guy is the one that always say like, right, okay, I'm cheating on you. I don't want you, leave, get out, right? I want to go and spread my oats or do whatever I want, right? So the female can always try to be loyal to the wrong energy, right? So I've never actually left on my own accord. I've never broke the cord myself. I've never actually come to the realization of like, hold on, I don't need you to tell me that you don't love me and you don't want me anymore. I've come to the realization that I don't love you anymore. Okay. When they realize that they don't love this person anymore, they're less likely to go back because they've understood it themselves. They've gone through the lesson themselves without you interfering, telling them to do something or to leave, right? Because they won't know. They have to come to that realization themselves that they don't have to wait around for someone to cheat on them or to abandon them or to kick them out. They realize that they are worth more than this person. They're worth more than that. Okay. That's when they'll start to build up their self-worth, their self-strength. They'll do it for themselves. You do it to yourself. You have to get out of it yourself. Justice, Libra, 2, right? You have to get out of it yourself, right? Don't have to wait around for someone to kick me out again or to cheat on me again or to not love me again or to prove the same thing again. I don't need to validate that. People always look for validation. I need to justify why this is happening. That's what makes people go back. I need to justify that I was right. I need to prove that you were wrong and that I was right. I need to prove that you didn't want me because there was someone else, right? I need to prove that you didn't want me because your family or your friends don't like me. So I need to prove that. So I'm willing to keep doing this until I find the answer to prove it. So physically, they'll start to question people. They'll start to ask him, did you do this? Did you do that? Have you left me again? Are you talking to your ex? Are you talking to your children? Blah, blah, blah. What happened? Why? When you go out with your mates, I don't trust you. Where have you been? What have you done? They'll always look for an answer. Always look for an answer because they need validating. They'll justify it, right? That's justice. They try to justify their being, their belonging, their purpose, right? So because of that pursuit of purpose, what's the point in this? What's the purpose? Right? Well, there's got to be a purpose for something that's going on. So I want to know, right? So they'll always keep going back until they know. But even when they do know, it's still not good enough for me. I just need to prove that I was right. Okay, you're right. Brilliant. Now what? Well, now we can work on it. What? What are we going to work on? The same thing? Right? So they'll do that over and over again. If this person that has never left themselves realizes, well, I'm actually not happy. I'm not happy with you. Like, I'm not angry at you. I don't trust you. I don't believe you. And I actually don't love you anymore. If they can do that and they leave permanently on their own, they start to elevate spiritually, right? Because, like I said, they are less likely to go back when they leave because they've never left before. Now, if they have left before, right, on their own accord, and so is this one, and they're still doing it, then the cord is still very much attached. They have to completely detach from one another separately on their own because the metaphysical one has got their own work to do, right? This person, whoever it is, has to meet you in the future, right? Because the present timeline is not ready yet, right? It's like the eggs or whatnot. the cake hasn't been proven yet, right? So they haven't proved anything. They're still looking for validation. They're still trying to justify their means, right? So they're living above their means. So they're still trying to prove that they were right, or prove that you were wrong, or prove that I was right and you were wrong. So they're arguing, right, over who's right or wrong. Neither of them are. They just don't belong together. But when this person leaves, they have to elevate and graduate spiritually to cut that tie and to cut that cord. When they do, they'll leave on their own accord. Get it? Cord. When they break the cord and they break the pattern of behavior, they leave on their own accord to break the cord that they're attached to. So once they do that, they meet you in the future a better person, right? Because they're bettering themselves than staying in that. They have to better themselves, right? They have to think of themselves. If they don't think of themselves, they'll always give up everything that they are for someone. And you don't want someone like that, because you don't want to, in the future, you don't want to be controlling a person and saying, okay, well, you need to start doing all of these things, right? Because, you're not trying to better another person, you're trying to better yourself, right? So when you start to better yourself and your calling and your life and you get on with it, they need to follow toe on the mirror. They need to go through this individually, start to realize that they're not in love and that they can leave themselves and that they've broken the cord, right? And then as soon as they attach from that cord, the other cord, or the umbilical cord, is there a baby here by any chance? Like eggs and a baby and pregnancy, right? Because I'm hearing umbilical cord. But, all these people that float around fucking internet, man, how do you cut my karmic cord? I need to see a witch doctor or something. There's obviously witchcraft going on. No, it's just people going through their stuff, right? So, like I said, when they leave on their own accord, that's when they start to break the cord. They break the cycle, right? They break the cycle because they left on their own accord. They're not waiting for someone to cheat on them or to argue or to fucking prove that they don't love them, right? So they need to realize this isn't what love is. I can leave on my own accord at any point. And that's why you've got like an 8 energy, like an 8 of swords. 8 of swords is to say, when the door's fucking open at any point, sweetheart, you can leave. Okay, you don't need to wait for me to tell you that you can leave. You can leave whenever you like. Okay, that's an 8 of swords, right? So you get like an Aquarian Leo vibe, right? I'm stuck in something that I can't get out of. Of course you can. Door's open. You can go whenever you want. Right? You're free to leave whenever you like. Unless there's like marriages, documents, certificates, then there's a waiting period, right? But a period. Something's going on around pregnancy or like sleeping with someone here. Because like periods is like becoming the change, right? My body's changing, right? That's also like, evolutional scale of stuff. Eggs or tits? What is it? I don't know. Tits and eggs? Eggs and tits. Someone's got a nice pair of tits, all right. Blue tits? Anyway, do you get what I'm saying? So that is your channel message. I know it was a bit of an explanation by me, but it's the only thing that I could really try to explain of what I'm feeling and seeing within this reading. It's like I just keep justifying my actions and your actions, where the actions have proved it. It's not just words, it's physical actions that have proved they don't love each other. So they can't learn that. So one of them needs to realize that they don't need to justify that anymore, and they don't have to justify their means or their belongings, right? Because there is a piece of me that belongs to someone else. And I think that children could also play a part in this, right? And that means that if there's an ex-husband or wife and there are children present within an energy, well, then they're never going to give up that energy, because that's my children's mother or my children's father. So I'm always going to have an attachment to them, right? But if one of them still is going on about their husband or their wife, like, I can't believe my wife left me, or my husband and my marriage broken and I've got children and I still want to be with her, right, then that person's always going to be present because you can't stop it because of the kids. So that's like a very long attachment, right? Because they abandon one another. They abandon their children, right? To get the effect that this takes, it's like, well, I don't like your kids, or my stepmom or stepfather, and my father is with my stepmom, and my stepmom or my mum is with a stepfather, and the stepmother doesn't like me, so I can't see my father because the stepmother doesn't like me, right? And then vice versa. But then when you get into that scenario, if you've got a husband that has an ex-wife that's got children, the same aspect is a mirror of what comes back to you. Of like, oh, okay, well, my husband's children doesn't like me because we've split up so many times, and they think that my dad is not good enough, like, for you, or you're not good enough for my dad or for my mum. Right? So what happened to you as a child is also happening to you in a circle. Do you see it? Do you see the reflection of what Spirit's trying to say? Because you've got like stepmom, stepfather, ex-wife, ex-husband, children that are all kind of reflecting the energy of being left and abandoned. Like, well, I can't abandon my children. I can't abandon my wife, right? So you've got like this loyalty energy that's fucking making everything like, none of them are supposed to be together. Like, none of them are, right? Because it's over, it's done, it's finished. It's a repeat of history. It just keeps repeating itself. And because it's not changing, it's because people are not actually realizing. We all need to leave each other. The two, they need to leave, right? They need to leave one another. So that's what you've got. Pisces, so what we're going to do is now I haven't done your tarot reading because I normally go over to the other side and we know the answers. Like, if you're like, fucking hell, Steve, this is my scenario. How do you do this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm psychic. I do all of that sort of weird shit, right? So because now, if these are relating to you, when we go over to the join button, which is only $4 a month, it's not going to break the bank, right? That's where I draw the cards and I look for those answers in that spread. Instead of changing and thinking, okay, I've got no idea what Pisces is going through, let's just draw a spread and guess, right? Now I can actually look at the reading and start thinking, okay, well, that relates to this relates to that, that's them, that's you, that's them. And then, okay, let's look at what is the couple going through, how do they feel about each other, and what's the lessons there and what they're going through. And then the metaphysical one, okay, what are you feeling, what they're feeling about you, blah, 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 right? So we do all of that on the other side. So if you wish to join, I really hope you do. It's only $4 a month. You can find that next to the like button. If you can't see it there, it's where the little arrow is, and you have to open up everything and find the join button. If you can't find it, just leave a comment and I'll guide you towards it. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I still ask for if this gets 5,000 views and I only ask for 1,000 likes, people can't get past 500 likes. Why is that? Right, people just don't try to help the channel. So if I can get 1,000 likes, I'll do you another reading, Pisces. But I don't think that you guys could possibly do that. But if you want another reading for me to do this, the sooner it reaches 1,000 likes or somewhere close, I'll do you another remote viewing. Okay, but don't forget, on the other side, you also get all of your weekly readings anyway. But I did get all the way up to Pisces and I haven't done it yet. So this will be your weekly reading as well as on top of this. Okay. So you can find that in the join button below. Thanks very much. We'll see you soon.